Community Chest Cup is our feature race at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. It's race number 6 on the 8 race programme before we back up at Shartin on Saturday this week. Very warm welcome to the show. I'm Andrew Leshurn, joined in the studio by our form analyst Paul Lally and race caller Brett Davis as well. Brett, it's a really strong lineup we've got on Wednesday night.
Absolutely, Andrew. Yeah, no, it's going to be a good night of racing again at the city circuit. The beer garden, no doubt, will be packed. The weather's expected to be bright and sunny throughout the day, and that'll create some nice warm weather for racing on Wednesday night. Good program. Some very interesting horses making their debut, and one that returns unbeaten in reliable team. Yeah,
looking forward to that. And there's, if you needed anything else, Paul, it's just a small jackpot in the TT.
Loose change for Paul.
It's a huge one coming up. There's 16-odd million going, starting off into the pool. So we're expecting to get up to close to 28 million for a single winning 10 early unit. So looks like it's going to be a good one. So it's definitely worth a crack.
That is a whopper with cheese.
It certainly is. All right, more on that later on. Before we get into the Happy Valley card, though, we need to look back on Shartin on the weekend with our racing review. There was 2 trophy races on the weekend. We're going to focus on race number 5, which was the Farkay Cup. That horse on the inside was backed into odds-on California Gung-Ho with a win under his belts already, but Solomon's Bay was too good.
Yep, he's easy to spot, Solomon's Bay, with the white face, super wise, and obviously California Gung-Ho did some nice work early, and it was set up for Solomon's Bay to crack at them late, and he certainly did. He'd been showing signs last season that this was certainly possible, and well done to you, Andrew. You made him the best, and he paid $8. Got out to a huge price with all that money, as you mentioned, for California Gung-Ho. So good effort, and I don't think his winning's going to stop there either.
No, it was a nice win, and it was good to see California Gung-Ho as well back up. He ran a good race, but gee, they pulled some money onto him. And I like the run of New Asia Sunrise. He's had 2 good runs this season now, both in minor placings, but he looks like he's not too far away.
I actually think there's 2 or 3 out of that race you can follow. I'll highlight one shortly in our Horses to Follow segment.
All right, Zach's saying that maybe could be going up in trip as well, and Frankie Law saying the all-weather option for him as well, because he was successful on that in the UK.
Yeah, no, he's got options. He's already raced at the Valley, we know, and he certainly handled Shartin there.
All right, as far as the ratings changes are concerned, he got 6 for that, so he's right on the brink now at a mark of 80. Dealmaker, absolutely host up again on the all-weather.
Oh, yeah, he's a different horse on the all-weather, isn't he? They went at the back end of last season. This one, he's gone up 10 points for that. Simple Elegant, he ran really well and won nicely. He's gone up 8 for that as well, and you can see the other ones there. Buddies won again.
Yeah, both Buddies and Dealmaker, who won on the dirt, both have got more to come, no doubt, I would have thought.
John Moore, John Size, Frankie Laura got off the mark for the season too.
Yeah, so they can take a sigh now and just get rolling as they normally do.
All right, those are the big winners on the weekend. We'll see if we can find some more with our Horses to Follow. Now, there was one very obvious horse on the weekend, which was Cock Campbell. We've left him to one side, Paul. What are you looking at?
I'm going to go with a horse who's won a couple of times at Happy Valley. Now, a horse called Rule the Roost. Frankie Law's got this horse. He came onto the all-weather. It's by Reduced Choice, this one. And I just thought he went really well on the surface. Now, this was 1650. One of his wins was over 1,800 metres at Happy Valley. And I just like the way he finished off this race. This was first up over the 1650. I think he'll only improve with this. And I will keep an eye on him when he gets back to Happy Valley, especially over that 1,800 metre trip.
Yeah, I'm with you, Paul. I thought he went really well there. Yeah. He looks to show signs of more progress this season.
Yeah, that was Buddy's winning. What do you find for us, Brett?
I'm going to go back to the key race we looked at before with Solomon's Bay and focus on that horse in the yellow colours called Gratwick. Now, last season he didn't do a great deal, but I just liked the way he trialled and was working leading into his seasonal debut, which was this run. It does look a little bit short and sharp for him. That was the case, but just like the way he kept finding the line, and I think he'll have a better season this time in. Continues to find the line. There is 1 or 2 others in this race. I thought Decisive Action and also the one out the back Winston's Lad. Yes, it was hard to pick one in particular out of that race, but I ended up with Gratwick, but 2 others to follow too.
All right, for me, went from race 5, Solomon's Bay, into race 6, Colorado High. This was my each-way play on the weekend as well. He was just nosed out of it in the end by Lucky Guy, who grabbed him on the line for third. But this is a super run from Colorado High. Also good runs from Majestic Conqueror He was on debut. He finishes just in behind in that pale jacket. Actually, Foodie Princess in the pink cap was over 150 to 1. He's starting to show something too, but was still just about with Monkey Jewellery, Colorado High there late and just got grabbed right on the line.
Yeah, I agree, Andrew. 2 or 3 out of that race as well to follow, and Colorado High, of course, named after one of Paul's favourite movies as a teenager.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, don't lie, Paul. You were telling me before we went on.
Have you heard of it?
I'll have to look it up now.
Get the computers out.
It's obviously a thriller.
Alfie Chan on
I can
bingo,
assure you
Grant Van
it's action.
Dyke on the Fat Turtle. Both got a couple of days, and Grant got 20,000. Grant had a winner on the day as well. Very good ride on Simple Elegance. All right.
Maybe it was just one of my favourite movies.
We'll have a look at that in a second. Right, that's all the Shartin out of the way. Let's get into Happy Valley on Wednesday nights. An Indigenous Star is out of race number 2, 1650 Class 4. He is out, not replaced. So 8 races at Happy Valley. We're on the C course on Wednesday nights, and we start things off with a Class 2. Really strong start to the programme here. Soul Special, who won first up last season. He finished off with a win as well. Zach Burton for Michael Chang. Moment of Power, 7-time course and distance winner. Will roll forward from barrier 8. Little Bird's got speed as well. He's got 9 speed vision, likes to roll as well. His wins have come over the 1200 metres. A Hong Kong Bet Class 2 for the first time. Sunny Boy likes to roll forward too. Beauty Rush, interesting debutant for John Size and Joe Moreira, and down to Baltic Whisper, who's won twice down the straight at Shartin. Alex Lyle ride from barrier 5. Little Bird, Speed Vision and Hong Kong Bets are the horses that have been up at Chung Fa in the last 30 days, Brad.
Speed will be hot, very fast tempo expected with horses like Moment of Power, Little Bird, Sunny Boy, Hong Kong Bet and the newcomer Beauty Rush. Exceptional speed horse overseas before coming, so there will be a massive charge here. Interesting Storm Signal, another pace horse, but with Douglas White now getting a hold of him, he's been rather quiet in some of his work and trials.
Here is a Soul Special. Now, he did win Fresh Up last season, and he's moving nicely here. He's up in the handicaps now, though. He's 133, but he's got Zach Burton aboard, and he works nicely leading into this particular contest. Little Bird, he's been up in Chung Fa, up that way. Another one that has got a bit of pace, but Barrier 9's going to make it tricky. But he looks okay, and he goes pretty well. He'll be pretty fit going into his assignment as well. Does Little Bird. And here, I thought I'd show the first starter, Beauty Rush. You can see he's under double wraps here as he comes down now. He's been gelded since he got here. He's had 2 trials. He's 1168 pounds. He did win Group 3 in Australia, but was over slightly longer.
1200, yeah. We'll hear from John Size very shortly about Beauty Rush as he debuts. Let's pick up Soul Special, Speedy King Super Turbo, though. On the final race for Soul Special last year.
Yep, it was a win, and it was over this course and distance. It was also for Zach Burton, 4 rides, 3 wins on the horse. He is right up now to a rating of a 100, went up 8 points for this, but he did put the race away quite nicely, didn't he? So I tend to think, you know, it's another stiff contest. There's lots of horses that'll be progressive, but the way he won there, based on that performance alone against the opposition, a repetition would see him go close again.
Yeah, I've got him in the numbers as well. And he does go well fresh. It's just 133 was the question mark.
And the 2 months gap we've had between sort of races as well is always a little query.
OK, Michael Chang had a winner on the weekend as well. He's off and running. Hong Kong Bet picked up a trophy race last season here. Here he is again in winning form over the course and distance.
Yeah, look, he's won twice now from his 6 starts. He's going to come up in grade. That's just a query for me. He now comes up into Class 2 for the first time. Both those wins were in Class 3, but he did win them nicely. He's up to a rating of 87, and she'll get a nice run from Barrier 2, so he's another chance.
He did win this quite cosily, as you can see, sort of geared down late. Yeah, if he's come on in the off-season, I think he'll be very competitive. He is chasing a high achievement bonus as well. But just the way he put those away makes him, you know, highly considerable, I would have thought.
All right, as it would, I would imagine. Moment of Power, a 7-time course and distance winner. Only once in this class, mind you, but he does have a good record fresh.
Yeah, he's won twice up fresh, and he gets a £10 claim. So effectively, he's going to carry a really light weight in this down to 117 pounds. We know he's very speedy. I think he'll burn everyone off early, and at 14 to 1, I'll make him the long shot. I think he's got a good chance in this race.
Definitely course and distance perfect. Class is a little question mark, and I always find he's better when he can find the rail from barrier 8 with some speed underneath him. It might be a task, but because of that, as Paul said, you'll get some value in the dividend. and he's worth a ticket because if he does find the front and the rail, he'll give a good sight.
And that was Hot King Prawn and DB Pin in that trial behind. It was just a trial, but still he was looking good.
Yep.
All right, the first starter, Beauty Rush. Let's hear from the trainer, John Size.
John, Beauty Rush, he steps out of the races for the first time on Wednesday night. That most recent trial on the dirt looked impressive.
Yeah, his trials have been okay. He's done his track work fine. He seems like everything's in order with him, and it's time to go to the races.
New horse for your stable. What's he like, John?
Well, obviously, I'm learning about the horse as a work in progress. I don't know much about him at this point, but we've got to start racing him, and then he'll tell us what to do.
1,000 metres at Happy Valley. Wynn's looking at his Australian form over a bit further. Do you think this could be a bit sharp for him first up?
Yeah, they could be a bit quick for him. He's going right-handed for the first time and on a tight track. He wouldn't think he'd have the speed to go with the leaders. He'll have to follow the horses around, and he'll probably finish the race off quite soundly. But it'll be quite an eye-opener for him. For the PPs going to Happy Valley, they normally get a few surprises.
Yeah, it's certainly a task for him. He showed a lot of speed in the early part of that race that we showed as well from Australia. He's a nice horse, come up a single-figure price, Paul. What do you like? Yeah,
I do like Moment of Power. I just think this is his go. 1,000 metres at Happy Valley, gets the 10 pounds off, so he's got a light weight, and we know he's got the early speed, and I think he can get across the rail, so I am going to take that chance. So he's on top. A Speedy King, he's another one that's come up at a massive price as well. He's dropped 8 pounds. He's already had a run this season. We know he loves it here. He's a 2-time winner over the course and distance from his 4 starts. It's all special with the weight, and we'll take a chance with Beauty Rush in there for 4th. The first starter. He has been gelded since he got here, the ex-Godolphin horse. 2, 3, 1 and 9, but at that price, happy to go 2 each way.
Yep, Tin Hat was his name previously, Beauty Rush here in Hong Kong. I've got him in the tips as well. It's no easy task to come to Hong Kong and win a Class 2 first up at the Valley. Doesn't matter how good you are. So be interested to see how well he does perform. I went 1,793. I think it's a very open race, quite a few hopes. A lot of talented horses. Saul Special, Hong Kong Bet, Beauty Rush, Speedy King.
I was told about this horse, Beauty Rush, as soon as he was sold out of Australia. He's a proper horse. I'm going to go with him. I'll take a chance that he can do this on debut. But it's pretty difficult, isn't it? First up, it's 1,000 metres, but I think he could end up with a triple figure rating.
Yeah, well, it's a good starting point for him.
All right, here we go. That's race number 1. 1 down, 7 more to go. Race number 2 after this, it's a 1650 Class 4.